The wizarding world has been full of twists and turns, and is not shy to surprise its audience by making a decision that not everybody will agree with. But it seems like one of the bigger plot twists in the Fantastic Beasts franchise made fans a bit more angry than any prior twist. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at that twist and why it might not be as controversial as we all think, at least according to one of the stars of the films. So stick around because you will not want to miss a second of this video. So, which twist has got people in a tizzy? The Fantastic Beasts franchise has been plagued with controversy and divisive decisions since the first film premiered way back in 2016. The casting and subsequent defending of Ezra Miller after he was caught up in assault charges, the firing of Johnny Depp after his legal battle with ex-wife and current demon person Amber Heard, and perhaps most notably, the constant vat of hot water that J.K. Rowling seems to find herself in with her online activity, including anti-LGBTQ+ tweets that are predominantly attacking the rights and freedoms of transgender women. But today, we are going to be avoiding all of the turmoil this franchise has gotten itself into and focus on a plot twist that seemed to rile people up just as much, if not more, than these aforementioned issues did, which is crazy to think about. The issue that has fans of the wizarding world up in arms is a plot twist that occurred at the end of the second film in the Fantastic Beasts series, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, in which Queenie Goldstein seemingly decides to form an alliance with the Dark Lord himself rather than running away with Jacob, in fear that she will be killed due to her love for a non-wizard. That's right, people are more mad about this than the straight-up atrocities that are happening in the real world surrounding this franchise, but that's another video in and of itself. Why do people hate the plot twist so much? It is typically the job of cinema to make the audience relate to characters, so that when they make a divisive decision, it forces the audience to wonder, if that were me instead of the character, would I have made the same choice? If the audience answers no, then the movie did one of two things. It either did a poor job of bonding the character to its target audience, or it forced the character to choose between two impossible choices, and the character chose a path that half of the audience would have also chosen, and half of the audience would not have chosen. So, what was the case in this film? I think too many fans take Queenie's decision to join Grindelwald too literally. Just because the second film in a 5-film saga sees a character turn bad, it does not mean that they will stay evil. There are still 3 films to go, which is lots of time for that character to go back to the good side. Moreover, I think it is impossible to say that Queenie has not bonded with her audience, as people have been relating to her character's forbidden passion for years, as these are of course based on books, much like the Harry Potter series. I simply think Queenie made a choice that the audience did not want her to make, and it made a great deal of them very angry. Fans wanted her to go down the same path that she did in the books, which is clearly not what she is doing in the films. Moreover, it seems like many fans are taking her quick leap to the dark side as a cemented fate, and that she has no option to go back to her old life, which is obviously not true at all. Once again, there are literally 3 more films to go, and it seems more than likely to me that Queenie is just exploring her options and trying to do what leads her to her ultimate goal, which is to be able to be with her lover, Jacob. Why can't Queenie be with Jacob, and how can she change it? As most people watching this video know, the Fantastic Beasts saga takes place long before the Harry Potter saga, which means that they are living in the 1800s, where the laws that surround wizards are very different. One of the laws is that in order to keep the wizarding world a secret from the outside world, wizards are not allowed to marry non-wizards, and their relationship is forbidden. Of course, Queenie is a wizard and Jacob is not, therefore the pair cannot be together. Jacob knows of Queenie's true nature and suggests that the pair can run away together, but of course Queenie cannot just abandon her posts and leave Dumbledore and the good wizards short-handed in the fight side against Grindelwald. Furthermore, she's worried about what would happen to them if they were to be caught, as this crime is punishable by death. So Queenie refuses Jacob's proposal to run away, and come to the end of the second film, she decides to join forces with Grindelwald. This choice baffled some members of the audience and longtime fans of the character and the world, stating that she would never make the choice, given all of the other choices she had. But actress Alison Sudol, the actress who plays Queenie, is not so sure if that's true, and honestly, I agree with her. In an interview where she was asked about the controversial ending, she defended her character's actions. If you follow through the film and you really think about it, she was in one unfortunate circumstance after another because of the way the wizarding world operates and the prejudice, Sudol said. She continued on by saying, really, all she wants to do is just be with the person she loves, and the narrow-mindedness of the world she lives in puts her into a really vulnerable position where somebody that's really manipulative can tell her what she wants to hear. That's going to have an impact. While fans are unsure whether or not her character will come back to the good side, Sudol did mention that we find her in a world that is very different than any world she's ever been in before. In the next installment of the franchise, which undoubtedly suggests that Queenie will be spending some time in a magical world in which she has never spent any time in, which will take the characters in some interesting directions. But was this move out of character for Queenie? To be honest, I think that most fans of the wizarding world would have to agree that this move is completely within Queenie's character. And while many people may not have agreed with her decision, it was not out of character, and it should not have caused this much controversy. Let me explain in greater detail. In the Fantastic Beasts saga, we are introduced to the on-screen version of Ilvermorny's School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, which is the North American counterpart to Hogwarts, the legendary magical school made famous in the Harry Potter franchise. Much like Hogwarts, Ilvermorny has its own set of houses. One of the houses is House Pukwudgie, named after the mythical creature. The Pukwudgie in the franchise was said to be an incredibly independent creature that was strong with magic and followed its own will to reach its goals, and is commonly referred to or used as a metaphor for the heart of a witch. Guess who is in House Pukwudgie? You guessed it, Queenie Goldstein. So when you look at Queenie's decision to side with Grindelwald, it starts to make more sense. A Pukwudgie is literally famous for following its heart to reach its goals. Is that not what Queenie is doing by following Grindelwald? Did we all of a sudden forget that Grindelwald's goal is to merge the real world with the magical world, thus abolishing the laws that keep them separated? Yes, his goals are much more sinister and involve more world dominating and whatnot, but ultimately, Queenie's goal, which is to be able to live a free life with Jacob, would be obtained if Grindelwald won the war. So does it make sense for Queenie to join sides with Grindelwald, especially after the events of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald? Yes, it makes perfect sense. As Alison Sudol said, if a particularly manipulative person were to tell her exactly what she wanted to hear, she would have to follow them because it would eventually lead to her end goal, which is to be with Jacob. Furthermore, literally everything Queenie has done so far in the series was to be with Jacob, so why doesn't this move make sense? In fact, when you actually watch the movie and logically think about it, it would be more of a plot twist for her not to go with Grindelwald. The film made it quite obvious that Queenie was going to side with whoever could get her closer to her goal from the beginning, and right now, that person happens to be Grindelwald, at least in her mind. Will she stay with Grindelwald? We will have to find out when Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore releases later this year. That's all we have for you guys today on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next video.